welcome to this video. Let's see how this question goes. So here we are given a sequence, and number one, they say determine the value of term 21. So what I've seen many people do, and I have seen this a lot, is people do this. They go, 10, 7, 4, 1, and then they realize, the difference is -3. So then they just keep going. And I've seen people go all the way up to term 21, just like that. And if you're one of those people, well, high five to you, because I think I might have done that when I was in school as well. But what we need to remember is that there is a formula that can do things a lot faster. The only condition is that it has to be an arithmetic pattern. Now, an arithmetic pattern is any pattern where the difference between the numbers stays the same. And in this case, it will. For example, to get from 10 to 7, you have to -3. To get from 7 to 4, you have to -3. And so you can see that this difference carries on. So, in the previous video, we looked at the arithmetic formula, which is this one. And so from the previous video, and this is so important, that you remember that A is the first term, N is term, or it's the specific position that we're looking at, and D is the difference, and then Tn is the value. So let's summarize that quickly. A is term 1, N is the position, D is the difference, and Tn is the actual value. So this question says, for number 1, determine the value of term 21. So term 21, does that sound like a actual value, or does it sound like a position? Well, they're saying term 21, so that's a position, okay? So term 21 is going to be equal to, well, A is always the first term, that's 10, plus the position we are looking for is 21, so we say 21 minus 1, and then the difference is -3. Just remember, guys, that's -3, not +3. Then you simply go and work this all out on the calculator if you wish, and you end up with -50. So what that means is that if we had to carry on with this pattern until we get to the 21st term, the number that we would see there would be -50. The next question says, how many terms are there in the pattern? So we could go from 10 all the way to -302, and we could write those numbers down, and it would probably take 3 or 4 pages of writing, but you would still get there. But then remember, there's a faster way. So we need to look at that -302 and ask ourselves, is that the position, or is that the actual value at that place in the sequence? So is that going to be a Tn, or is that going to be a N? Well done to you if you say Tn. That is actually the value that at that point. So we will substitute that in the front of the equation. A is 10. We don't know N because we don't know which position that would be. And then the difference is -3. Now solving, and there are multiple ways to do this, but I'm going to take the 10 over. Then this times by -3. I've seen many issues in my past with students who battle with this. So if you are going to multiply it into the bracket, please remember that it goes to the N and it goes to the 1. Okay? But the other option is 104, because the negatives would cancel, and so you're left with 104 equals to N plus 1, and so N is 103. So what that means is that if you had to keep going in the sequence, after you have gone, once you arrive at the 103rd position, the value that you would see there is -302.